Please, don't hit me. I'm already hurt. The choked scream tore through the bustling airport terminal, cutting through the rolling announcements and echoing footsteps. Victoria Hale, a woman who usually radiated power and authority in boardrooms and gala events, now collapsed on the cold tile, clutching her bruised shoulder. Her pristine white suit was stained with tears, her perfectly styled hair falling messily across her face. Around her, passengers froze. Some whispered, many pulled out phones, taking pictures and recording videos. Everyone watched, yet no one moved, all except one man. Daniel Brooks, 38, a single father with a wrinkled shirt and tired eyes, paused mid-step, holding his 8-year-old daughter Emily's hand. He set down his suitcase, took a deep breath, and looked directly at the man whose hand hovered threateningly in the air. There was no hesitation, no thought of consequence, only a quiet resolve that radiated from someone who had faced far greater battles. Daniel wasn't a CEO, a hero on the news, or someone seeking fame. He was a former military medic turned maintenance worker, a widowed father raising his daughter alone. His life had been ordinary, grounded in love and responsibility, avoiding trouble wherever possible. But at that moment, he was the extraordinary force that Victoria desperately needed. The rain outside streaked the airport windows as Daniel guided Victoria away from the crowd, shielding her from more humiliation. When they reached his modest apartment nearby, warmth and calm replaced the chaos. Emily emerged clutching her favorite box of crayons, offering innocent compassion. Victoria, for the first time in months, felt something she hadn't in years: safety, kindness, and hope. In the next days, through laughter, burned pancakes, and balcony gardens, Victoria discovered that love, authenticity, and human connection were far more valuable than power or money. This is the story of courage, second chances, and the quiet, transformative power of ordinary people, reminding us all that sometimes the people who save us are the ones we'd least expect. The first night in Daniel's small apartment felt surreal. Victoria sat on the modest sofa, wrapped in a soft blanket that smelled faintly of lavender and home, watching Daniel move around the kitchen with calm precision, filling a kettle and preparing tea. The bruises on her shoulder throbbed, a constant reminder of the day's terror. "You didn't have to help me," she said quietly, her voice barely audible over the soft hiss of boiling water. "Yes, I did," Daniel replied simply. "No one deserves to be treated like that." Emily peeked out from her bedroom, clutching her crayon box. Her serious gaze, full of curiosity and compassion, landed on Victoria. "Daddy, why is the lady crying?" she asked innocently. "She had a bad day, sweetheart," Daniel said gently. "Sometimes grown-ups have bad days too." Emily's small face creased in concern, then brightened with an idea. She approached Victoria, fearless in her compassion. "Do you want to see my drawings? They're happy pictures. They might make you feel better." Victoria hesitated, then nodded. "I'd love to see them," she whispered. And as Emily spread her colorful drawings across the coffee table, Victoria felt something inside her chest crack open. Sunflowers, rainbows, stick figures holding hands under bright yellow suns, simple, joyful, alive. "This one is my daddy," Emily said, pointing to a figure with brown hair. "And this is me. And this empty space is for someone special, we haven't met yet." The words hit Victoria like a gentle blow. Even the smallest child could unconsciously leave room for love and belonging. And somehow, Emily had left a space for her. Daniel returned, carrying a first aid kit. "Let me see that shoulder," he said. His touch was competent, careful, comforting, a steady hand that had repaired far more than bruised bodies. "You were military," Victoria observed softly. "A medic, right? 8 years?" "Yes," Daniel replied, watching Emily color. "Priorities change. Some battles are worth fighting." Others aren't worth the cost. Victoria understood in that moment that she had been fighting battles all her life. But now, she wasn't sure what she had been fighting for. Over the next few days, she found herself returning to their apartment, telling herself it was to check on her injuries. But the truth was simpler, she craved the warmth she found there. Emily claimed her as a special friend, proudly showing her rock collections, favorite hiding spots, and the careful organization of crayons by color. One afternoon, Emily asked, "Do you want to help me plant flowers? Daddy said we could make a garden on the balcony." Victoria had never planted anything in her life, yet she found herself kneeling in soil with her manicured nails dirty, while Emily supervised like a tiny professional horticulturist. "Flowers need love to grow," Emily explained. "You have to talk to them and give them water." "What do you talk to them about?" Victoria asked. "My day, and Mommy, so they know about her too." Tears threatened to spill as Victoria realized the innocence in the child's understanding. Love was about giving, not taking. Victoria slowly shared her own story: forced marriage for business, betrayal by those she trusted. Daniel shared his story of loss and loneliness, anchored only by Emily. Together, they found solace in each other's vulnerabilities, staying up until 3 a.m., talking, crying, laughing. Victoria tried pancakes the next morning, clumsily burning the edges. Emily coached her patiently, explaining, "No, you have to wait for the bubbles." And when Victoria finally tasted her first imperfect pancake, it was perfect in a way that no corporate success ever had been. Days turned into weeks. Victoria found herself drawn to the apartment, to the laughter, to the garden, to the family. And slowly, she realized she was falling in love, not just with Daniel, but with the life they had created. Then came the confrontation. Luxury cars, expensive suits, threats, her family and board demanding her return. Marcus, her stepbrother, sneered. "You think he actually cares about you? You're being used." "I resigned," Victoria said simply, placing her company card, ring, and car keys on the table. "I choose this. I choose people who see me as a person, not an asset. I choose love over fear." Daniel's calm presence was steady at her side. He didn't argue, didn't fight, he just stood there, embodying the life Victoria had come to want. Over time, Victoria began working at a nonprofit helping abused women. Her corporate skills became tools for empathy, teaching women to understand contracts, navigate finances, and reclaim independence. Emily's perspective never wavered. "You look like the ladies on TV who smile but have sad eyes. Now your eyes match your smile." Months passed. Pancakes were still burned, gardens still grew, drawings adorned the fridge. Victoria discovered that being complete didn't mean being perfect, it meant being present, being human, and being chosen by those who loved her unconditionally. Daniel's quiet heroism became evident in small, everyday acts: fixing broken toys, teaching life lessons, and loving without expectation. Victoria realized she had been rescued not for her status, not for her money, but simply because someone saw a person in need. One morning, Emily proudly displayed a drawing: 3 people standing in a flower garden, holding different flowers. "This is us," she explained. "Daddy has a strong flower because he takes care of us, I have a happy flower because I'm still growing, and Victoria has a beautiful flower because she learned how to bloom." Victoria cried. Finally, she understood, love wasn't about wealth, power, or recognition. It was about presence, care, and choice. And in that moment, she chose to stay, for Daniel, for Emily, and for herself. Later, Daniel revealed his own hidden heroism, a 6-year-old story of an emergency flight he had saved. Victoria realized that extraordinary lives aren't measured by fame, they're measured by quiet courage, love, and sacrifice. Together, they built a life far richer than any boardroom, a life filled with laughter, love, crayons, and flowers. Victoria's family wasn't born from blood or wealth, it was chosen. And in that choice, she discovered the extraordinary power of ordinary people. The final truth settled in her heart: family isn't where you're born, it's where you're chosen, every single day.